This is lesson 2, Revit architecture, area plans. We're going to get into some finer points. I showed you how to create this drawing so far. We start from scratch. Can be applied to any project for which you have image representation of your floor plans. Now, let's say we wanted to be able to say, okay, well, now I drew my area, but now my area is covering up a view of the drawing beneath it. Well, you can easily change the visual properties, graphic display options, right, of the area plan by just clicking here on the properties palette, graphic display options. And we can set the transparency of the model, which means anything I do in the model, anything I draw, to 50%. So it's I'll be able to see through it and hit apply, and suddenly these area representations, right, become transparent, so I can see through it. So I move that over the arcade. Let's say I changed this to arcade, change the name of that area to arcade, and then I change the boundaries right, the area boundary lines to correspond with the perimeter of the arcade according to this drawing, right? I'm being rather sloppy about it, but you get the idea. It's warning me that I'm being sloppy, right? So the arcade is about 10,000 square feet, right? If I wanted for this boundary area to be an ice cream store, I could, let's just create a new area, architecture, area, boundary, area boundary. You have to draw the boundary lines first. Area boundary, use the rectangle tool, delineate the extent of the boundary, right? Select area, click, change the name of that to ice cream and viola. The boundary is now a 2,620 square foot space dedicated to ice cream. How cool is that? I'm being deliberately prescriptive about this because it's important to understand how this works. It's completely in your control what the shape of the areas are. So as you start to get into more complex programming, let's say I need an L shape for this stack, and I want to create an area called stack that's shaped like an L. Well, then I would go into area boundary and use the line tool instead. And now I'm just drawing the shape of the stack, deliberately going outside of the lines here. Then I'm going to area, tag that area, not properly enclosed. So somehow my lines are messed up. You have to be careful when you're drawing. So one of my lines shares, let's drag that line there. There we go. So my stack is assigned blue color to it. and that is my stacks. So whatever the name of your program is, you assign it to that area. Circulation. This is a great way to describe how I get around in my space. Let's say I wanted to take the perimeter of the arcade. I'm just going to draw a new boundary line because this one is shared by that L-shaped stack. So I'm going to go to architecture, area boundary line, just draw a new one, right? You can draw past whatever it is that you're doing. So now the arcade central area, but the area around the arcade is what I want to be circulation. You need to take some care drawing in Revit. You need to practice with it. Let's move that line. So if I want to delineate the rest of the area, okay, it's warning me that lines overlap. We're always going to get that warning. So I'm just going to delineate an area that goes all the way to the front of the building. Why? Because that's where I enter the building. So what I'm drawing is a circulatory area. For the building. So when I travel through the building, around the arcade, and get into the building, area boundary lines, just continuing this drawing. Let's see if that's enclosed. Architecture, area, not enclosed. Not enclosed, that's enclosed. So maybe what I'll do here is temporarily hide, right? And the background image, you can see the reason it didn't draw the circulation is because the lines aren't complete. So I'm going to go to architecture, area boundary, line, and just connect up this last bit. And I think that'll do it, right? You see the path. Oh, we're missing a little point over there. And now I can architecture area and move over there. Look at that. That area is now That's my circulation. I'm gonna rename it circulation. Circulation. 8,100 square feet of circulation. I want to unhide what I hid. I go into my reveal hidden elements, select that thing, and right click and say unhide that element, and then uncheck that box. See what's going on here? If you follow these two lessons, there's enough there to completely explain in size and shape the way you're allocating your program at scale in a presentation, in a set of presentation drawings. Cheers.